I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, Shalom Israel. I just want to come at y'all with some wisdom for the day. These scripture, this particular chapter have really touched my heart today to do a video because, man, a lot of wickedness that I've been seeing in Israel, a lot of wickedness and comfort in this wickedness that I've been seeing in Israel. So, even those that claim to be, even those that know that they are Israel, and for those who don't. So, yeah, let's jump into it. So it says, and I'm pretty much going to go through this whole chapter. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice and judgment and equity. Okay, so judgment or justice and judgment. Okay, so we are in a land that has been stolen. Okay, has been stolen. There's a lot of evils that have gone on in this land, and we sit here in comfort. We sit here feeling as if things are going to get better for us, when Micah 2:10 says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Okay, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. All right, so that's what's being said right here. And uh yet we sit here and we look for some type of peace in this world today. Okay, in this world where it's nothing but wickedness. Okay, Job chapter 9 verse 24 speaks of what? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where? Who is he? Understand? So this is talking about the wicked. This is talking about the wicked. And the wicked happen to be who? The Edomites. The Edomites are who control the world today. They are who is given power, who power was given. Okay? Because we did not follow in the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Okay? Yahweh Ba'Shem HaMashiach Malak Yahushua. So, with that being said, what happens? We've been put in this situation where we are nothing but oppressed. And it says here in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 1, so I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun. And who these oppressions come by? The so-called white man, okay, and his angels, which is the elites and the cops, the military. From these people are going to come Jacob's trouble. From these people are going to, they are going to come into our neighborhoods like a flood, and they're going to kill. Okay, they're going to be shooken up. All right, and because of what? This truth. Because of this truth, it says all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold, the tears of such as were oppressed. Excuse me, and they had no comforter, and on the side of their oppressors there was power. So that's who the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. And what do? Okay, they destroy the world, they destroy the earth. Okay, they destroy the world, which is Israel. They kill us off. Okay, and what? We led by our enemies who do what? I mean, to the people of Israel who do what? They despise wisdom and nurture, okay, which is in Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon. chapter 3, verse 10. It says, but the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations. The ungodly here is speaking about uh, uh, those who are who are of us, okay, who are Israel but not of us. Those who walk to do wickedly. Okay, those who walk to enjoy this world and think that this is a place where they supposed to be living in voluptuousness next to they slave masters. And a lot of these Jake know that these devils are they slave masters. They know that these devils have been treacherous towards our people, but they love it that way. Okay, so it says, which have neglected the righteous. They neglect those who speak the truth. They neglect righteousness. They neglect Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. And it says it right here, and forsaken the Lord. Okay. For whoso despises wisdom, this is verse 11 now. For whoso despises wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain. Their labors unfruitful, and their works unprofitable. Okay, so that's the wicked, and that's our people who walk in this wickedness, who knows that the devil has been nothing but the white man has been nothing but a devil and a demon. And when we bring out the truth about the nations, they only care about the white man. They don't care about all the nations that was spoken of in Psalms 83. Okay, Psalms chapter 83. They don't care nothing about that. They only want to know what's going to happen to their slave masters who have dealt proudly. Why you think the so-called white man all the other nations try to hide the blacks in their countries? A lot of Jakes don't even know that it's black all over the world. It's Jakes all over the world. And what happens? They try to hide it, okay? But the so-called white man, he make idols out of us, okay? And he turns our celebrities into our the so-called white man, and his pride turns our celebrities, okay, into our shepherds, to a form of a shepherd that leads us, people who are leading us, idols, basically. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's go back to that Proverbs. So 1:1. So to know wisdom, that's what we are supposed to. We supposed to be seeking after the same wisdom, okay, and instruction, okay, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity, okay. But what does Jake do? He's been led to despise those things, despise dominion, okay. You sit here and we attest to things. What go around comes around. Well, Jake don't ever take a second to ask himself, what's gonna come around for this devil? And the Lord's judgment is like a circle, like a ring. It's gonna come back. Okay. So what is Jake? He despises wisdom and understanding. Okay, he does wickedly in these days. The Jake that don't understand, Jake that refuse to understand. And if you don't understand judgment, then you wicked, you evil. If you don't understand judgment, okay, when it's yet told to you. So ignorance is one thing, but when you told about it and you reject it, then guess what? You wicked. So let's go on. It says to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. That's what our young men need today. Wisdom and discretion. I was looking at a video. Well, let's go see. Let's go find it. Let's see. Well, I'll find it. I'll do that in another video. So it says to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. Because you got a bunch of Jakes. Basically, let me give you a quick summary of this video that I watched concerning this brother doing photography in Detroit. In Detroit, he was first started off taking pictures of landscaping and buildings and stuff like that to try to build like a professional portfolio. But what ended up happening is he realized that he wasn't getting any viewership on his social media account. So what he started doing, He got a camera and he started taking pictures of Jake in the hood with guns and, all this, that, and the other. Uh, just the things that make us a shaking of the head among the nations, nothing that helps Israel in, basically, the carnal thing, which is changing the face of, you know, changing us to be what? Walking right. And it's not carnal. We're supposed to walk circumspect. We're supposed to be righteous. When we follow the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, it makes us a wise and understanding people. But this particular Jake was deciding to, let me get the scripture. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding. So that's what wisdom, understanding is, to do what? Okay. Verse 5, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments. Okay. Even as the Lord my God commanded me that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. So you're supposed to keep judgments, the Lord's judgments. You seen how what Moses is saying. You seen the way Egypt dealt treacherously with you guys. Y'all complained and prayed to the Most High. Y'all complained about how ungodly this Pharaoh was. Y'all complained to the Most High. Okay, y'all complained to the Most High, and what happened? He moved on your behalf. He sent somebody to help you, a comfort. He sent Moses. Okay, to do the work. All right, and then what? The Lord showed up, and there was judgment brought upon that nation. Okay, and what happened? He brought you out of the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. So it says what? Keep therefore and do them. This is your wisdom and your understanding, which is the law. It says, in the sight of the nations which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. But the Jake that was in this particular, they called it a documentary. This Jake actually was taking pictures of Jake with guns, and they had a quick little interactions with people with the younger Jake, and they were smoking weed in some house, and this and when I put the video out, y'all gonna be amazed at what you see, because it's like, how does this help? How does this help Israel in any way? The Lord said, if you don't gather with me, you scattereth abroad. Okay, so how is that going to help Jake? And what does that mean? If you don't gather with me, you scatter the blood. Well, when you see a Jake, let me give you an example. When you see a Jake out there preaching and teaching, wearing fringes, what do? You say, dang, that's a righteous brother. I heard about the fringes. I probably need to go over there and hear them. But you know what? I don't, whatever reason you come up with, if you come or you don't, okay, nevertheless, he's gathering the flock by doing what? Visibly having on him the fringes, so that you can do what? Turn to do righteousness. Turn to walk in the laws of the Most High. Then when you go and you hear his words, it's even more edification established, okay, in that interaction, okay. And then what? You got some Jake that decide to do wickedness and folly. You see some Jake walk around, making the nation of Israel a shaking of the head. Okay. And this is very important stuff. The way that you're making everybody look when you do wickedness. Okay. When you walk in wickedness and folly, look at how you make all of us look. That's like somebody in the ministry doing something, in this ministry, in this understanding, doing something wickedly, and then it's causing the whole truth, okay, to be blamed. Now, at the end of the day, we have wisdom and understanding, but the Lord is going to judge you in that. We have wisdom and understanding to keep pushing no matter what wicked Jake and false prophets do. Okay. No matter what, we're going to walk righteously. All right. So this Jake in this documentary was taking pictures of guys, and he made he got his his popularity based off of taking pictures. Okay. His advantage, his benefit he received it by taking pictures of Jake with guns, smoking weed, videos of, videography of Jake smoking weed, holding a bunch of guns. And these Jake, they ain't ready to, when the white man come in their neighborhood, they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be utterly wiped out. Okay. So those guns are not for the benefit of protecting Israel. You got a bunch of Jake over here lined up, beards and no beards at all, holding guns, smoking weed, no fringes on. Okay. No scripture in their hand. Okay. Going to Chinese restaurants. The restaurant that the kid went to, there was a window, like a bulletproof window, where there's like a turnstile for you to get your food. Okay. It's the window will turn out. You put the money in through the little hole. That's the hood, man. That's how it is some places here. Okay. Where I used to live. So, but he's laughing about it. He's like, man, then they only accept cash. And you complaining about the things, you're complaining about the conditions when you press forward that way of living, that way of understanding. Okay. And then the Jake made a comment in this video saying, well, it's messed up how Jake says it's messed up how, we can be, how people always want to tell us how to live in the hood when you ain't never lived in the hood. This young, ignorant, okay, young man has a platform to put such evil sayings and swelling words out like this. So when the Israelites come, you are scattering the people. You're scattering the Israelites. You beating the flock. Okay. When you putting such a message out there. Okay. Because when the prophets come to that area, what's going to happen? You already planted in their mind wickedness and folly. So that's why the Lord is going to judge. That's a young man. So let's go. It says to give subtlety to the simple. That's a simple young, and to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. Okay. He was simple and he was a young man that needed knowledge and discretion. It says in verse 5, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain to wise counsels. That's verse 5. Okay. So you just cut off the flock by doing what? Being wicked, telling the people that, getting up in their mind, conjuring up in their mind that, oh, if you come from this, you're not from this neighborhood. Okay. Or you're not from the hood. All right. So guess what? You can't tell us how to live. Okay. And that is what the Christian church has bred in these days. Okay. They are the reason for 2 Timothy chapter 4. Okay. Where it says it comes a time where they will not endure sound doctrine. Okay. So what am I saying? The so-called black man needs this wisdom and understanding. Okay. He needs to revisit what the Lord calls justice and judgment. Okay. Because these Christians, they want to come together to condemn the righteous acts of the prophets today, or of the elect, of the hopeful elect. Okay. They want to come and condemn those who seek after knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, nurture from the Most High. Okay. What do you want? But what happens? You want to come after us because of your hate for dominion and nurture and wisdom. Okay. That gets you to do what? Not understand the judgment of the Lord. Okay. Which is what? To recompense, okay, tribulation to those that trouble you. Okay. That is what the Lord indeed wants. And actually he loves that, for a man to love his children and to desire to see the fall of his enemy. So it says a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. But guess what? Today, that wickedness is way off. That wickedness is so strong on the so-called black man. All right. So strong on the so-called black man that he says the most dumbest things, and it's a joy to him. It's a joy to him. So it says to understand the proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. That's like when Christ was saying, y'all don't understand. He rebuked his own disciples when they didn't understand his parables. Because what? Not every time, but he has at one point rebuked his well, let's just go. Let me just say anything. Matthew chapter 15, verse 16. All right, so it says, then Peter answered, then answered Peter, this is verse 15. Then answered Peter and said unto him, declare unto us this parable. And Yahushua said, are ye also without understanding? Okay. Verse 17, do not ye understand that whatsoever entereth to the mouth goeth into the belly, and it is cast out to the draught? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man. But to eat eat with unwashen hands defileth not a man. So he went and had to explain what that meant. So that's in our we are commanded to or more so exhorted, exercised, okay, in this oppression that we face. We are exercised to understand what, okay, justice, judgment, and what and have the understanding of a proverb, okay, and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings, because we are commanded to live wise as serpents, harmless as doves here in Babylon the Great, because our enemies are seeking out to sift us as wheat. So it says, the fear of the Lord is beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. And that's right. Jake today despises the wisdom. Jake today are fools that despise wisdom and instruction. A lot of us are. Okay, the 2/3. Okay, but that's the fear of the Lord. Is the beginning of the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. All right, so let's go to Proverbs chapter 8, verse 13. It says, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way and the froward mouth do I hate. So that's what you're supposed to have in your heart when you hear Jake speaking such things, showing such things about Israel. Okay, that's what you're supposed to feel when your beloved president starts running his mouth. You're supposed to hate that proud mouth. You're supposed to hate when your woman speaks wickedly, okay, speaks with arrogancy, okay, not considering the things of the scripture, all right? You're supposed to hate when you hear Christians running their mouth concerning something that they know nothing about, right? They don't even know the Lord. They don't know righteous judgment. They don't know the judgment of the Lord. Okay. They don't seek after wisdom and knowledge and nurture. Okay. So it says, my son, hear the instruction of thy father and forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head and chains about thy neck. Okay. But our parents aren't even righteous anymore. Okay. Matthew chapter 10. Verse 35 says what? Let's go at 34. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And the man's foe shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. So that's the understanding behind that. It's not just saying it's going to be a lot of wickedness going on, and blacks going to be, people just going to be dividing with each other because it's going to be hard to live. That's right towards the end of that statement. It's going to be hard to live, so that's why people are going to draw back or they're not going to receive wisdom and understanding to begin with. They are going to do what? They are going to, uh, you know, uh, turn to the world. They're going to bid you to turn to the world, okay, and eat of things that you should not partake of, okay, making meaning spiritual fornication, all right, and which is Christianity, serving a white Jesus, okay. That's not knowing the Lord's judgment. The white man has destroyed and killed us. How can we have a white uh God, okay? They want us to have a zeal towards showing love to our to the white people who oppressed us, but want to just beat down, okay, okay, and make it my way or the highway with your own brethren, okay. You're supposed to be patient with your people, okay, and only seek for deliverance from your enemy, okay. But they, on the other hand, want you to go to church, become less black, receive a job, okay, retire, and hug on white people all day. That's what the Christian church wants you to do. Okay, that's what your parents, part of those Christian churches, want you to do. And as far as I'm concerned, that's what your parents that's atheists. That's what they want you to do. They want everything that's outside of the Most High Yahweh. You worshiping the white man, even when you sit here and kill your brother and only dwell in the hood. Okay, because guess what? You're doing what the white man meant for you to do, which was what? Be a damn devil to your own people. Okay, so it says, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and the man's foe shall be they of his own household. He that loveth, this is verse 37, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So it goes both ways. You might have a Jake that's in this truth, but his kids are wicked as hell. So when they hear this word, they don't want to turn to walk in righteousness. So they're going to be against their father. Okay. And likewise, father or mother against their child that is walking after righteousness, they're going to be against. So that's the peace that the Lord is taken away from our minds. So that's more of a reason to do what? Understand Micah chapter 2, verse 10. That arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. What did Yahweh say? How shall I say? He said, my kingdom is not of this world. Okay. If it was, then will my servants rise that I be not taken by the Jews. Right? So, but what happened? He was taken. So his servants didn't rise up for him because this is not his rest. All right. That he'd be not taken. He said, this ain't my kingdom. So basically, it's the so-called white man's kingdom. He sit there and pushed a unrighteous judgment, all right, because the scripture does say they that pierced him. So the Lord has animosity towards them. So we know that he was meant to die, okay? But the point of the matter is, that was the so-called white man's, this is the so-called white man's kingdom. He was able to do such a vicious thing because this is his dominion. And that goes right back to Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth has been given to the hand of the wicked. So let's go back and check it out. So it says, my son, hear instructions of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. So that's what you're supposed to be, basically chains about thy neck. Now that can be that this is talking about beauty. Okay, that's your beauty. Not sitting up here going and getting Jordans and dressing all nice or whatever, whatever you think is a nice way of dressing, and the things of this world, all those things are vanity, meaning emptiness. They're going to be passed. There is going to be passed away. Okay. Those things are going to pass away with the using of it. So it says what? My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. All right. So in that video, Jake was sitting up there, videotaping a bunch of wicked niggas with guns, right? Smoking weed. Okay. Sitting on stoops and whatnot, not going out there giving a word, not bringing the spirit of truth. Right. Okay. They sitting up here selling drugs to their people. Okay. And, we have it in our mind that that's a good thing nowadays. We think, because look at what the Nipsey Hustle thing, you know, that's all he did. Smoke weed all day and, push this type of understanding with our people. Like, this is the way to walk in this life. That's not the way to walk. You know, that's not the way to walk. You're not supposed to be sitting up here selling weed to your people and then going building a business with it. Okay, that's what the Italians, what we are led to believe that the people like in the mob and all that, they use all their money for wickedness, just like the so-called white man. All right, they get the money off the backs of the black people, and then they use it to build businesses. Okay, to consume it on their own lust. Nah, he trying to lead us to do entrepreneurship. Okay, so we've been working jobs. Some people, some Jakes have worked all the way up to $90,000 and upwards of that, living in this world, and they still don't have their own. A lot of them still don't have their own businesses, or it's not a fruitful business where they can, share with their people. Because if that was the case, we would be better off. So we've been doing these things for eternity, working. But what did Nipsey Hussle do to acquire his wealth? He sold drugs. It's very lucrative to get money doing selling drugs. But guess what? You're gonna get hemmed up. If the white man don't want you to be there, then you ain't gonna be there selling those drugs. He'll remove you. Okay. Soon as some Jake come up more crazier and dumber than you, he gonna allow him to kill you, and then he gonna take your place. That's what's going on in the hood. All right. And if I'm off about that, that's fine. But that's the way the so-called white man do things. That's the way the so-called white man handle celebrities and whatnot. One celebrity get wise, and then look, somebody else come and take his place. And they cast this dude that's bringing out things of wisdom. Okay, not wisdom of the scriptures, but wisdom of this world. Okay, and they cast him to the side. Okay, somebody who's basically bringing things that bringing knowledge and understanding. It's about the industries and all this, that, and the other. What ends up happening? Okay, they move him out the way. Okay, so that's the same thing that the so-called white man perpetuates with these drug dealers, and that's the same thing that the white man does with his in his system. Okay, among his thieves. Okay, they do the same thing. All right, but look at it. Nipsey Hussle sat here and used his money to build a business, okay, out of selling drugs. Use the drug money to do it. Jake, you can't go that way. You go that way, you're gonna be killed. That's those things, and he's not even a Jake. As far as the looks, you would think, man, that's a Jake. But look it up. It says that his father, he might not even be a Jake. Okay? Regardless if he is and he ain't, he's being profane as Esau. Okay? Oh, well, he might be a Jake. Okay, that's fine. Check this out. Because if we're talking about if he an Israelite or not, that also means what? That means that you believe that Esau is the devil. So let's go check out Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. It says, lest there be any, let's go to 15. Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of Yahweh, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. And what do? We respect persons even though that they are transgressed for bread. And that's what the so-called, Nipsey Hussle did. He transgressed for bread, for money, okay? He lived by any means necessary mind frame, okay? In law. He lived by any means necessary law. And he scatters the flock, okay? But we want to sit here and justify his wickedness, justify his folly, justify his madness, justify him not dwelling in understanding and righteousness, okay? And not leading the people to righteousness. And somebody, Nipsey, what's the dude's name? Jermaine Dupri called Nipsey Hussle, had the audacity to call Nipsey Hussle Yahawashai. Not using that name, but called him Jesus. But he said, man, that was Jesus. I believe he was Jesus. All right. So Jake can just think whatever the hell he want to think nowadays and do whatever the hell he want to do. There's nothing to govern our people. As far as they're concerned, there's nothing to uh, govern their actions. Okay, in their heart. Okay, that's why we end up getting killed and murdered in these streets. All right. So it says, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. But we continuously consent to them. Okay. And I want to take it another direction. The so-called black man that becomes a cop, the so-called black man that becomes a politician, the so-called black man that's leading blacks in some type of way. You're not supposed to be doing anything besides, according to this scripture, according to salvation and receiving that reward, okay, of salvation from your enemies. You cannot be carrying yourself like you have seen our people doing that has the limelight. People that's on TV, people that's walking, that's politicians, people that sit up here in the church. You can't do things like that and expect to receive salvation from the Most High Yahweh. Okay. Okay. Now, am I saying that you're going to totally cut off? That's not my position. Okay. But the Lord did tell us to walk circumspect. Okay. The Lord tell us what? Okay. Let's go to Ephesians. And then you sit here and believe that everything's going to be all right and nothing's going to happen. Okay. It says, be ye therefore followers of Yahweh as dear children, and walk in the love of Yahweh Shai, and walk in the love as Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, also hath loved us, and hath given himself for us as us an offering and a sacrifice to Yahweh for a sweet smelling savor. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becoming saints. So what is that saying? Fornication, that's both physical and spiritual fornication. All uncleanness. There is many doctrines that's unclean according to this world. According to the scripture, it's unclean. It's deemed unclean. A lot of this understanding that we have. Okay. We're not supposed to be sitting up here. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. So guess what? We're not supposed to be getting all these weapons. And, even if these Jake were having these weapons to protect Israel, listen, you're not going to live by the sword. Okay. Am I saying you can't have a gun? That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that you are not supposed to focus on guns as that being the way to save you. What more with this man in this video, this Jake in this video, this young man in this video who perpetuated that, yeah, I'm going to protect myself by any means necessary. We got to live in this hood and we got to watch over our back. Yeah, because you're going out there doing wickedness and folly. Okay. You sit up there selling drugs. You're around people that's selling drugs. Oh, I got to lock my door because people trying to steal. You should always lock your door no matter where you at, first and foremost. And I'm not trying to speak loftily concerning oppression. That's an oppressive state. But you promote it, and then with the other, you double tongue. With one mouth, you promote it. And at the second time, what you doing? You going to encourage Jake to be like, man, I want him to shoot videos of me. Let me get my gun thing together and call him and have him come shoot videos of me too. You encouraging Jake to be a wicked nigga. You're not encouraging Jake to change. You're not encouraging Jake to do honorable things, even things that's honorable according to this way of living, this vanish way of living, okay, which is getting a degree and doing all this, that, and the other, getting all proud, okay, having a, building yourself to walk with a proud look, okay. You're not even doing that. You sit up here wanting niggas to be wicked and they want to complain about it. And then when somebody comes to bring righteousness, you walk past them. We see y'all every day. We see niggas like you every day walking past the prophets, bringing out words of wisdom and understanding. You just walk right past us. Okay. So Lord says, so that's things that are unclean. Okay. Or covetousness. Okay. That Jake that I was speaking of, and cops, Jake that want to be police officers, Jake that want to be politicians, okay, Jake that go up in the church, they're all about covetousness. You want to receive the position, the things of the so-called white man, envying your oppressor and loving your oppressor, loving to have it that way, okay? That's what you want, okay? That's covetousness, okay? It says, and you're trying to get it by any means necessary, or you're on a pursuit of happiness, okay, in this evil world, man. That's what you're doing. When the Lord says, arise ye and depart, what is that supposed to make you do? Wonder, like, well, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? Good question. You're supposed to be walking according to the law, statute, commandments of the Most High God, who has called you, okay? Called you to understand and given you an opportunity to change, okay? And to seek recompense. We've been learning all this wickedness and madness. Now, when the true word come out, he's trying to reveal to you that, I have his mind. For a long time, we have not known his mind and his thoughts. Now he's giving it out liberally. He's pouring the word out to us liberally, and we don't care to know. We don't care to receive those good things, the sweet taste of these good things. Okay, it's bitter in your mouth. Okay, to walk righteously. It says, neither filthiness in verse 4, neither filthiness nor foolish talking nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. Okay. We out here trying to what? Show people that that's not walking circumspect. We happy. We trying to, man, that's y'all negative, Y'all want to sit up here joking, making the Jake want to make everything a joke. It's not a joke, man. We out here dying every day, and you want to sit out here videotaping niggas, right? You want to sit up there with your cop friends, with your white cop friends, and sit up there and laugh and talk about wickedness and folly. Okay, you want to appease to them while you want to look at your brethren. You want to look down on them. Okay, according to the ways of living in this world. Okay, look at him. He ain't got nothing. He ain't doing it. And then when you see a Jake that is walking right, you got all this animosity. You got all these rebukes for Jake. But then when you see a brother walking wicked like you, according to this world, you want to sit up there and compete with him, or you want to sit up here and say, well, he ain't got this, well, he ain't got that. Okay, that's wickedness, man. That's double tongue. You say with one mind, oh, you see, black people don't want to listen, this, that, and the other. Well, you one of them. So you say with one mind, blacks don't want to listen. That's your judgment for black people. But then when you see a Jake living according the same way you live, you feel like you doing things right. So when you see Jake living the way that you living, you walk past him. You don't salute him. The Lord says, salute those who don't only salute those who love you. Salute those. He said, don't even the publicans the same. Salute those who are your enemies among Israel. Okay, you're not even supposed to be bearing no grudge against your people. Okay. So what's going on right there? That you being double tongued. Okay. So it says, neither filthiness nor foolish talking nor jesting with which are not convenient, but rather giving the thanks. For this ye know that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man who is an idolater has any inheritance in the kingdom of Yahushua and of Yahweh. Okay. So that's what all of our entertainers push. They push that wickedness. They push that whoremongering spirit, okay, and that uncleanness, okay, with all those spiritual fornications, okay, and idolizing what? Other rappers that came before them, other politicians that came before them, other cops that came before them, okay, other Christian pastors that came before them. That's all the idols that you have in your heart that keeps you from turning to the laws and statutes of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You are enemy to the Lord. All right. It says, let no man deceive you with vain words. That's what all our entertainers do. They deceive our people with vain words. That's how we scatter the flock. For because of these things cometh the wrath of Yahweh upon the children of disobedience. And those people who walk in the ways of the entertainers and the ways of the cops and the ways of the people who are self-willed, the women that are self-willed, women leading women to walk in a self-willed mentality. Okay, you're not supposed to be doing those things. You're not supposed to be turning to those ways. And know that type of understanding. You're supposed to be seeking to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. Okay? You're supposed to be seeking to be made purified. Not sitting up here looking to walk around in folly and madness. Folly is not supposed to be a something that you seek on a daily. Let's seek like that at all. You're not supposed to be seeking folly and madness at all. Okay, you're supposed to be rather reproving those things. Okay, so Proverbs chapter 1 verse 11, it says, if they say, so it says, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. And that's what it's speaking about in Ephesians as well, about the let's go back to Ephesians. It says, for let no man deceive you. That's verse 6 of Ephesians chapter 5 verse 6. Let no man deceive you with vain words. Okay, so what if they entice you? If they entice you, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Okay, if they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood, let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Now that's what our drug dealers do, right? That's what our politicians do. Okay, they sit up there and put evil decrees, okay, in power because they agree with they slave master, right? That's what our so that's what our entertainers do, our politicians do, that's what our police do. Blacks, that's police, entertainers, and politicians. Okay, that's what they do. They lie in wait for the for blood. It says, let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. And the innocent is being known as the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, those who are, you know, part of the understanding, those who understand, and even those that don't, what I mean, innocent according to the plan that you decide to take out against them. Okay, they ain't did nothing to deserve what you're doing as far as you're concerned. They have done nothing, not according to this. So if you believe in the Bible, you're only supposed to be telling those people to come out of their sin. You're not supposed to be sitting up there, oh, okay, y'all not doing what the Lord says, so let me go against you. Okay, let me secretly destroy you. You're not supposed to be a part of that. Let's say, so what do I mean when I say that? You got a Jake that's a cop, and he understands it's true, but he wants to be a cop still. Okay, so according to the and let me be careful what I'm saying, because I don't, or let me just slow up what I'm saying, because I'm not saying, it's not my place to say, oh yeah, you a cop, you're wrong. Look at the scripture. You're not supposed to be doing these types of things to your people. The Lord said, Apostle Paul said, you're not supposed to go to the law. Darren, in 1 Corinthians, you're not supposed to be going to the law to receive recompense, okay, from your own people. You're not supposed to be doing that. Okay, he said, rather take wrong. Okay, and you're supposed to have wisdom not to be around any ungodly person. Apostle Paul said, if anybody that says that they your brother, okay, be a fornicator or unclean, idolater, any of these types of things, then you don't eat thereof. You don't go around him being around that type of person. You're only supposed to be reproving his ways, and that's it. Now, if he haul off and try to beat the hell out of you, you can defend yourself, okay? But you don't go to the law. That's something that was given to Israel. And it's funny how people want to say that the law is done away with, but Paul gives such type of such insight on the laws that the Lord has given his people. He amplifies Leviticus chapter 19, not amplify, but he just gives more of a example and example of, or ensample of the way you should conduct yourselves with your brethren concerning Leviticus chapter 19 verse 17 verse 18, right? So he gives you a example of how you are to conduct yourselves when dealing with your people. Okay, so you're not supposed to be wickedly putting your people in all types of issues. Oh yeah, here go a ticket. I'm Israel, I'm Israel too, but here go a ticket. Take this ticket, and this is my job, and this, that, the other. All these unrighteous decrees that the so-called white man set up, it's not about righteousness. It's about wickedness, man. Now, murdering and killing, that's something else, but the white man has the power for that. The Lord has given the white man the power for to do those things, execute judgment on the wicked that do wickedly. Niggas that's out there selling drugs, niggas out there killing their own people. Okay, that's what the so-called white, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I see it, okay, as is written in the scripture, that's what's being said. That's what the Lord wants for us, is to do what? Do this work. This is not your rest. You're not supposed to be trying to clean up this that the white man has created. Okay. They want to say doing righteousness. The same people. I talked to a cop and I say, why do you feel like you're making a difference with your people in a uniform? Can you not make that same difference, with being a regular Jake? And this is when I didn't know the truth, but I asked the cop that, and he said, man, that's an uphill battle. They don't want to listen. So is it not an uphill battle with you going after your people, just giving them tickets and, doing all this type of wickedness to them? If anything, and these are Christian cops that I talk to, and if anything, what's going to happen? If anything, they're going to turn them away from any type of message you're trying to give them when you sit up there beating them down with this law that was created by mischief. Okay. Okay, these are the decrees, and you've been a partaker as far as the scriptures. If you look at the scriptures, right, you're being a partaker of another man's sin. Okay, you should be putting the cuffs on the so-called white man. You should be pointing your gun at the so-called white man. You should be getting a ticket to the so-called white man for all his folly and madness. But no, the white man stick you in your neighborhoods and have you be a drug dealer, a cop, and a politician. Okay, and every other oppressive position. Okay, the so-called white man gives you those licenses to do evil against your own people, and then when you see us rise